What's going on, good people? We on air. I can't even say welcome to Voicebox Radio because this is not an episode of Voicebox Radio. I got a special guest in the building, my boy D Mugga, Darius Smith. I know him, bro, for a long time, couple years. I get brief history. Darius is awesome guy. I known him, Walmart remodel.
Yeah, damn near
Shout out to
years.
Walmart. Yeah, a couple years. But me and Darius, we go back and forth every so often over either political or racial topics, stuff like that. We have discussed, debating each other, a couple times as well. We just never got around to doing it. I seen a post the other day where he said he was the smartest nigga in Cumberland County. And I was like, that was why I said, okay, well, yeah. But also, we us as BMG here, we want to provide a platform for people. We're non-objective, and we want to provide a platform for even people that we don't necessarily agree with. So this is the opportunity for us to extend that, and then also we providing a platform for home base. So you guys know Darius. He gets a lot of traffic. He I ain't going to call him a troll, but he does have a lot of opposition of people that don't necessarily agree with what he has to say. I'll say that I don't agree with a lot of stuff he has to say. Some stuff I may agree with, but we're just going to get into my thing would be the anti-black thing, which because I would say stems from misinformation because he's a very smart guy. So that's my swing. I would say it stems from misinformation, and then we can go a little bit into the red pill thing. But if anything else anybody wants to talk about, you're welcome to drop it in the chat. Darius, if you have people on your live that are commenting and they want to add to the conversation, they're welcome to add to the conversation as well. So take a little bit of time, introduce yourself, let people know a little bit about you, and then we'll get into the conversation.
So all right, hello, my name is Darius Smith. Like you said, the streets call me D Mugga. The reason why I'm here is for what he said. He says that I have a lot of quote unquote anti-black rhetoric. I highly disagree with that. I don't think my rhetoric is anti-black. I think it's what black people need to hear. I do have a lot of, I would say, polarizing political stances, polarizing, takes as far as it relates to our culture. And some people can't stomach that because I don't go along to get along. Now, some of my background is right now I currently work in healthcare. I'm a registered nurse, but also invest in real estate, also invest in the stock market. I also, invest in credit, things like that. So, financial literacy is a big thing for me. I am a big advocate of, the conservative party, the conservative movement, but not in ways that you guys would think. I am a Trump supporter, as you can see by my shirt.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice.
Strong MAGA, make America great again. And my overall goal is to have black people embrace conservatism, promote black nationalism, and just be proud to be American. And that's why I'm here. And then as Brandon said, we'll also talk about some of my red pill talking points because my dating stances are also very controversial as well.
Say the least.
But I think this is what men need to hear, and I think they actually intersect. So I'm looking forward to a good debate, a good conversation, and we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, once again, thank you for Darius for coming on, man. We appreciate your time. I will reiterate that neither Darius's views or my personal views reflect VoiceBox Media Group as a whole. This isn't running off VoiceBox Radio, the TV show, which is a completely different thing than this. This is, two fellas sitting down and have a conversation. So I said that we would start with, what most people would consider to be anti-black rhetoric.
And I'll need you to define what anti-black means, because to me, holding black people accountable or saying things that they don't want to hear does not make it anti-black.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I feel like you have to have the correct statistics.
Okay.
And the statistics have to be.
I don't speak. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about
yeah. I feel like the statistics can be used in unfair ways.
How?
Say name a statistic that you genuinely believe about black people.
Okay, like let me think that blacks do commit a disproportionate amount of violent crime per capita against other black people when compared to other races committing crimes against black people.
Can you explain per capita for me, please?
Yeah, per capita is basically like this, right? So in the United States, white people make up the majority demographic of the United States, right? So obviously, when these people are committing crimes or doing anything, because there's literally more of them, it's going to be an outsized number.
Yeah.
However, black people make up a smaller portion of the United States, right?
So what rate do black people make up?
About 13 to 20%. That's 13
Yeah.
to 15%.
What about black men? So we're insinuating black men, or you just saying black people as a whole?
But as a whole.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
We'll go black people. As a whole.
So therefore, you know, the fact that, you know, with the per capita, black men make up about 13%, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they commit, even though the raw numbers are lower, the actual percentage as it compares to the total amount of black people is high. So therefore, if you scale up black men to the numbers that white people have, our crime rates will be astronomical.
So where does that come from?
What do you mean?
That fact.
You can go look up the CDC if you like.
CDC, you talking about the FBI crime data
all
explorer?
of that.
Or?
FBI crime statistics for violent crime.
Okay.
You can look up all that if you want in real time. That's why I wish you had another.
Nah, I got notes. I took notes.
Okay.
Because this is where the misinformation comes in.
Yeah. And time out.
So
and let me look. Let me.
No, you can fact check anything I got to say.
Yeah, let me run this back. Right. Not even with violent crime.
Yes.
If you go to people that are in the healthcare field here, right?
Yeah.
If you look up the number one leading cause of black men under the age of 50, what do you think it is?
Wait for it.
It's homicide.
You believe so?
It's a fact.
Okay.
It's a fact. Like, you can look this up. The number one leading cause for a black man under 50 is homicide. It's not heart attacks. It's not cancer. It's not automobile accidents.
And where did that fact come from?
The CDC.
Okay. All right. Well, I got so this that leads credence to what I'm saying about how facts can be miscued and statistics can use for what we call quote unquote propaganda and or social engineering.
Okay.
So you understand what black people go through as a whole when it comes to propaganda and social engineering.
Absolutely.
So that's that you brought up.
Yeah.
One, I will say that only covers arrest.
No, I said no. I said in regards to the homicide, like the leading cause of death.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. Yeah, no, I'm talking about homicide. We're breaking it down. We start from the beginning.
Yep.
So when you say that 13% commit quote unquote half of the crime,
yes,
that would be considered a lie because they only use 80% of the data, and those 80% come from police stations that actually report their data. Can you guess which police stations don't report their data?
None of them in blue states.
Huh?
New Jersey's been stopped sending.
No. We're not talking about political wise. If we're saying inner city areas,
they don't report
versus rural areas.
Yeah, rural areas report more.
They do not.
Okay.
They do not. Those crimes go unsolved.
I give you that.
You can look that up though.
Okay.
And to go with that, with the unsolved part of it, almost 50% of homicides go unsolved.
Right.
Well, so therefore, you can't tell whose race it is.
Well, let me go here then. Where do most black people live?
What? In inner city areas.
There you go.
So if white crimes are going unreported, how you just say that black people are the majority of crime? Because
even doing an eye test, right? Without statistics or anything like that, white people do not propagate a culture of violence. You cannot find the white equivalent of an NBA young boy. You can't find the white equivalent of a King Von.
Goes unreported.
Again, culturally.
Goes unreported. Okay, but there is hold on. Since we're saying white people are not potentially violent, do you understand what protected offenders are?
Like I've never heard of
protected offenders are people that pretty much get away with their crimes. You either want to find out about it, or you want to hear about it.
Okay.
So that would include like Catholic clergy. Remember how long it took for us to find out that white priests were raping people? Yes. Boy Scouts. Remember the Boy Scout scandal?
Right.
White people.
Right.
Gymnastics. The gymnastics had a whole scandal. Who were the coaches?
Yeah.
White men.
Right.
Can you name a black serial killer?
King Von.
Can you name multiple black serial? Can you name up to 10 black serial killers?
There's King Von. There's a lot of them in Chicago. They're of course they're not being publicized and romanticized. And then I want to address your point about the whole clergyman and all that other stuff. Yes. White people can sexually abuse people.
But does that refute your statement that white people are not violent?
Again, as far as physical violence, sexually violent, sure. White people can abuse kids and do things until their faces turn blue.
So are we speaking on homicides or violent crimes?
We're speaking on violent crime. That's my issue.
Well, sexual crimes, rape is not violent crime.
Again, you're like,
I'm asking, is rape a violent crime?
You're grabbing at a lot of branches.
No. I'm trying to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. Are we talking about violent crime? Do you consider that part of violent crime?
The classical definition of rape, yes, that is a violent crime.
Okay.
Now I have my opinions on that too, but I ain't going to go too far about that. But I was going to say, like I said before, white people can sexually abuse kids and they can do this until they're blue in the face. It doesn't negate the fact that we still have a cultural problem of violence in our community.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, no.
That people refuse to just kind of call out.
I'm saying that the issue of violence in our community is being overblown.
No, it's not.
No?
No, look at Cumberland County. Look, within the last 4 or 5 years, I can name 20 black men that have been killed by other black men.
Versus the black population in Cumberland County.
Yes, yes.
What is the percentage then?
Again, black people are overly represented in violent crime statistics. This is a fact.
Oh, so would you like me to explain to you why they're overly represented?
You don't have to. You can go to.
No, I mean, no. I have the numbers.
You can go look at the FBI statistics, right? And when somebody dies, somebody gets shot, they go to the crime scene.
Yes.
And say, oh, is it a black person, a white person, or an Asian person, right? So when they solve that crime and they arrest the person, that person's either black, white, Asian, or whatever, right? And most of the time, the person is black, disproportionately so compared to other races.
Mm-hmm.
Then even when you compare, like I said, white on white crime or Asian on Asian crime, the numbers still don't add up. That's my point.
So if they say that over 85% of black crime is black person?
Yes.
So if white people are at 80% white on white crime, what would be the difference? That's still the majority.
Because the raw numbers, because there's more white.
No, it's interracial. All violence is 90% interracial. Right. 90% of violence means that a black person killed a black person, a white person killed a white person, a Spanish person killed a Spanish person. So what differentiates black people from that?
Because it's also the type of violence. Most white crimes aren't.
No, this is violent crime. We're talking about violent crime.
Most white violent crime isn't a white man sliding on his ops in the neighborhood or a white man shooting up a bar or something like that. Usually, let me.
I'm listening.
Let me walk my.
I'm listening.
Usually, with this whole intra-violent crime within the race, it's usually a Spanish person that has a personal issue with another Spanish person, or a white person that has another issue with a white person.
Yeah, but that's 90%. 90%. So what's the difference between saying black on black crime versus saying white on white crime versus saying Hispanic on Hispanic white crime if the numbers are the same?
On a percentage basis, because black people, even though they make up this small set of the population.
I'm glad you said that. We're getting into that too. Go ahead.
They still commit enough crimes to where it's statistically significant, right?
So
because by your logic, if it wasn't such a big deal, it would be a blip on the radar, but it's not. And then, like I said earlier, if you scale up the black population to equal whites, we would be off the charts. I'm telling you.
You think so, or will be similar to white people?
No, we will be.
So into that, when you said per capita, we'll talk about the 13% that you're talking about. What you're talking about, they only track arrests. They don't track convictions or reports.
Okay.
Only arrests.
Okay.
Also, when somebody gets found innocent or exonerated of a crime, that doesn't drop off of the tracking.
Right.
So that leads to the credits that it's more of propaganda than it is actual statistical proof. And I also lead that it says black or African American. Right. So if you include black, that includes Caribbeans, that includes Haitians. I'm just saying does that not knock the number down though?
I'll say it like this. I think Africans and Caribbeans and all them, they do mix into what we have going on.
But think about, what do they mark down as?
They're black.
So it don't matter what they choosing to identify as on paper. What are they considered?
They're black.
So wouldn't that add to black American statistics?
Absolutely. So let me connect. So then with
hold on, real quick. But on top of that, black Americans are exonerated at over 55%. So that means that those statistics that didn't drop off, over 55% of them were either found not guilty or had their cases overturned.
Right. All right. So with all that being said, with all that what you just said, right? If everything you're saying is true.
Listen, you can check it. I'm just saying you can check it. This is on the FBI Crime Data Explorer.
Can you explain to me why the leading cause of death for black men under 50 is homicide? Those two statistics cannot coexist. You can't say that these statistics are conflated, but then when the CDC reports on the deaths of people,
I'm about to check see if that's actual the leading cause of what is there an age group or is it all black men?
Black men under 50. Obviously over 50 it's like heart attacks and stuff like this. As a person that works in healthcare, I know this stuff, man.
So how do you conflate that fact with the fact that only 0.2% of black men ages 18 to 34 have actually been convicted of homicide? That means that 99% of black men are nonviolent.
Right. Well, no, because then you guys reclassify these definitions, right? Where if I point a gun to your face, that's technically a violent crime if I rob you. But again, they don't report these.
I said homicides. We talk about homicides because you said that was the number one cause.
Yeah.
So how do you rectify that 99% of black men haven't murdered anybody?
I don't believe that.
You can look it up.
I know at least 10 niggas that
you look it up. It's called, what clearance bias is? 10 out of what, 20 million?
I mean, that's enough.
10 out of 20 million. What's the percentage on that?
Every black person that
Come on, 10 out of 20 million. 20 out of, that's black men. 20 million black men. That's not black people as a whole. So.
Every black person you know knows somebody that's killed somebody in the jail.
Do that mean that every black person you know is liable to walk outside and kill somebody?
I mean, statistically, yes.
Statistically says that 99% of us haven't committed a homicide.
Okay. All right. That's
look it up. Look at how many. I asked you that. We was on. Look, I asked you that on Facebook. I said, how many black people actually have a violent homicidal history or a record?
Hey, I'm having a debate right now, and he wants to know. We're doing like black violent crime statistics, and is there a way to look up the percentage of black men that have been arrested and or convicted for
not arrested, convicted?
Or let's know strictly convictions for homicide, and on a racial basis, and on a per capita basis versus other races. Can you look that up for me, please? We'll see. We'll see what good old Chat GPT says. But like I said, I don't want to get too into the weeds of the statistics and things like that. Just from a eye test alone, we have the issue of like I said.
I mean, but an eye test, that's going off your personal experience. You one person.
But why does our culture propagate? So
do you know what social engineering is? You're an educated brother. What's social engineering?
Social engineering is propaganda where they give you curated statistics to try to force an outcome, right?
Yes.
All right.
You don't believe in that though?
To an extent, no.
Because
then also with your whole social engineering and fabricating the statistics, they also work in reverse, right? So then
I gave statistics on white people that make white people look horrible.
So then
hold on. Does this mean that white people as a whole have to account for this?
No.
So hold on. Matter of fact, go ahead.
So Chat GPT said there's no specific way to get convictions, but he said
I bet there's no specific way to get.
Black people were about 12 to 13% of the population committed.
They said black people. Ask specify African Americans. What percentage are they? I told you black. That's how statistics can be tossed up. So these are also statistics. If I use these statistics and report them, would this speak to white people as a whole? So when you look at the Bureau of Justice Statistics.
That's right. That's where it's got the information from. That's crazy.
Yeah, white men account for 70% of rape arrests. Hold on. They account for 65% arrests for violence versus family and children.
Okay.
And they account for 65 arrests for violent crime and over 50% of prostitution. Do we look at white people as a whole differently because of that?
Because white people do not promote that culture as the front and center.
Who promotes our culture? Do we promote it, or does it do we have say in what gets on TV early on?
Yes.
In the beginning?
Look, no one forces you to listen to NBA YoungBoy. Nobody forces you.
No, it's music. It's not entertainment.
Nobody forces you to wear.
Is that entertainment? How many people have killed somebody said I did it because of NBA YoungBoy?
They didn't, but they're influenced by him.
Yes, but we have a mind of our own. Okay. I listen to Jay-Z. I listen to DMX. DMX killed 1,000 niggas in his raps. I haven't killed one person yet.
Okay, so let me just ask you a common sense question, right?
I'm listening.
You see a bunch of dudes walking right down Landis right now with a bunch of shiesties on and black sweatsuits. How you gonna feel?
Black people?
Yes.
Am I supposed to be afraid of young black men?
I mean, if they walking around with shiesties and you've been listening to the music.
Me who used to sag my pants. I used to sag my pants and wear jerseys and hoodies and stuff like that. I'm supposed to be scared of young black men who look like me is what you saying?
I'll say it like this. If you know these, what they call them, YNs.
They didn't choose that name. We decided calling them that. They didn't even call themselves that. They had to flip to the quarter zip movement. Propaganda. I keep telling you, but you're not listening.
I'm glad that's happening.
But they did that themselves.
Let me say it like this. In your mind, what are black people responsible for that negatively affects our culture?
Oh, creating a legacy for themselves. I feel like you feel like black people's biggest issue is violence. I feel like black people's biggest issue is lack of knowing about financial education, knowing how money works, but also that stuff that's not in public schools. Therefore, I could argue that it's been hidden from them.
How?
It's not in public schools.
So how does every other race seem to know how to do
Every other race does it. Every other race, so no race has a criminal class. No other race has broke people.
Absolutely. But our criminal class and quote unquote our criminal class is
but that leads back to
our
history. That leads back to American history. It's all laid out for you.
Our criminal class is massively overly represented in places where it shouldn't be. And
I
have a huge problem with that. You have people that have killed people and that have robbed people and sold drugs. People that haven't even been out the streets for 3 or 4 years, going into schools around here to talk.
How does that drugs get into the neighborhood? Where's it start at the top?
It doesn't matter how they got in the
it does matter. That it's cause and effect. Do you believe it?
Ronald Reagan put
Hold on. Do you believe in cause and effect?
Yeah, sure.
So why would you ignore the history that led to what's going on today?
I don't give a damn about the quote unquote history.
Why wouldn't you want to understand that so you cannot replicate it?
Y'all blacks.
Y'all what? You're not black.
Y'all blacks decided to pick up the drugs.
Who? How? Okay, so law of criminality states where there's lack of money and lack of opportunity, there's more crime.
So then why aren't people in Africa and India selling drugs 100 miles an hour? Why
what are you talking about?
Selling, out there shooting everybody 100 miles
Is there
an
not
hour?
crime in Africa, India? Is there not poverty in Africa, India?
Yeah, but them people don't come from a culture of violence.
We don't come from a culture of violence. It was perpetuated on us. We came from Africa.
So we just have no agency in how we act.
We do have agency now. That's why it's less violent now than it was even in the 60s. You can check that, fact check that. Violent crime amongst black people is down 8 to 9%.
Right.
It's the lowest it's been since 1961.
Right. Okay.
So we did that.
Okay. All right.
What you talking about?
But I still think, like I said, black criminality, black violence is still an issue in our community.
It's not the main issue, and it's overblown. That's my argument that it's an overblown issue based on the truth.
So then again, how is it in our community that we, again, like convicted criminals, felons, violent people have a seat at the table? No other culture does that.
So have you seen niggas, mob bosses go to jail for not snitching? Hold on, and come home and be set up for life, celebrated.
Again, y'all romanticize other
I'm asking you though.
Yeah,
yes.
In the movies.
So not in the come on, where the movies get it from? Let's keep it real. Huh?
How many mob bosses do you know?
I don't know any mob bosses. I know historical facts, their names. You can look them up.
We're not going to sit here and conflate.
Yeah, it's not conflation. I'm talking about influence. Where you think we got that from? We was brought here. Africa don't got no mob.
So you niggas pick up
Africa don't got no mob at all.
So y'all niggas pick up all the Godfather. You want to be America.
They were our masters, right or wrong.
You're masters.
They were. Where you come from?
I'm a nigga.
Are you an immigrant? Are you an immigrant?
No, I'm 100%
are you
American,
you consider yourself indigenous American?
No, I'm a black American.
African American.
I'm not indigenous.
So when I say that white people own slaves, that's the truth.
Blacks own slaves too.
How many? What's this percentage?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's a small percentage. Hold on. The blacks that own slaves, they own slaves because they had to buy their family members back.
Okay.
So if you're looking at people who own slaves on paper, of course that my slave had the same last name as me because when I got the freedom, I had to go buy my nigga back.
Why do you care about slavery so much?
Because it's cause and effect. Like I told you before, do you believe in cause and effect?
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, a small portion of white people own slaves. They're called the planters.
What you mean the South? They own slaves in the South.
Again,
yes.
A small percentage of white people own slaves.
Okay.
By and large.
So you're saying that to say what?
I'm saying that to say that you guys make it seem like as if every white person was racist back then. No. We had white people that were on our side historically from the inception of this country, whether it was the abolitionists, whether it was the Quakers, whether it was the white men that literally died in the Civil War.
Yeah, from the North, absolutely.
Alongside black people.
Yes.
So why do you place so much emphasis on white people being the bad guys?
They're not the bad guy. I'm just speaking history. It's an observation. All you gotta do is educate yourself. It's an observation. This is what happened. Henceforth, this is why it's happening like this now. That's called cause and effect. So you're telling me that white people, I'm not even gonna say white people. Let's say the system of slavery.
Also ended slavery.
Let's say they had the power to do it. It was good. It was a right thing to do. Thank you. Thank you, guys. It was a right thing to do.
So go ahead. Now I was going to say too, right? Because you're saying, slavery is the reason why niggas selling drugs 100 miles an hour, why we're down in last place, right? But there's a period.
I didn't say slavery was why that.
Cause and effect, right?
It was something that led to slavery, cause and effect, and also the school to prison pipeline. Do you know about the school to prison pipeline? Do you know about the 13th Amendment?
The 13th Amendment is that was if a person is convicted of a crime, they become a ward of the state and stuff like that, right? Essentially, slavery back all over again.
So you know all this stuff. This would lead me to think that you're not misinformed.
No, I'm very informed.
You just either are denying facts or you just grift into your benefit because
I don't make money off of this shit.
So hold on. If the 13th Amendment contained a loophole that made niggas slaves again through the criminal justice system,
stop committing crimes.
I just told you, crimes have been down since 1961. We already stopped committing crimes. Crime has been down.
Think white people are arresting niggas?
Violent. Hold on. But it's there. The proof is there. If the 13th Amendment contained a loophole that literally sends people back to jail to be slaves again, why would you think that has no effect on the criminal justice system today?
Because committing crime is a choice.
Everything. Hold on. So do you so that you don't think that has effect?
Committing crime is a choice.
Do you not believe that people who have power over you to enforce laws?
Nobody
Hold on.
made
Do
you
you? Let's just answer my question. You keep you're
Nah,
not even.
nah.
I'm asking you yes or no questions,
Right.
and you're saying. Do you think that people who have power over you to enforce laws that are unfair towards your people will have an impact on your current status?
No.
Okay.
I grew up in statistically all that shit that you talk about.
Yes.
In a drug infested environment, single parent.
You're still in that environment though.
Single parent.
You're still in that environment. Did you move away from that environment?
Nope, I'm in it.
You still in it though.
Because unlike a lot of you guys, I'm actually really pro-black.
What you mean? How?
I don't sit there and go get a white person's job and brag about a white person's job and then go live in the.
Who? I made this for myself. You can't be talking about. I'm self-employed.
I'm not coming at you.
No, I'm just saying. But you say when you say y'all, you had to speak on black people and it had to be accurate.
It is accurate.
Because if one person exists that goes against what you're saying, then you're not telling the truth.
You're missing the overall point. You're trying to conflate individual experiences with the overall racial the climate that we're in, right?
I got you.
But let me finish my point, Joe. Right? So I don't go. A lot of these quote unquote pro-black people, Dr. Umar type, they got all these degrees with alphabet soup behind their name, right? They like to brag how they get to be accepted by these upper echelon elite liberal white people, right? Then they brag about going to these white people jobs, and then they say, "Oh, I live in a white neighborhood. I got white friends." You don't hear me ever saying none of that shit. You
literally say white people are better than black people.
No, I don't.
You say they're not opposed to violence.
I know.
You said white people aren't violent.
They are. Black people. White people are absolutely more violent on a. Let me clear this point. On a institutionalized scale, they have that down pat.
So the undocumented lynchings, the undocumented instances of where they were taking babies that were born premature or born, they were feeding them to alligators and stuff like that. That doesn't go under that, or you ignore that.
Let me say that all those things that you are talking about with the lynchings and stuff like that. Yes, that did happen. But I'm going to rebut and say that was not the par for the course during slavery, because let me go there, right?
I mean, I'm listening.
Slavery was more of an economic system, not some
So why did they have to dehumanize black people for them to be slaves?
Because that's part of the process.
So what comes with dehumanization?
Let me tell
you. Poor treatment. Do poor treatment come? I'm just saying, does poor treatment come with dehumanization?
Absolutely.
Usually. All right, let's put that out there.
Again, white men, they took slavery and institutionalized it. They scaled it up to where, like I said, it became like an industrial economic engine. So therefore, with the millions of slaves that are here, did you know that a slave costs as much as a Benz today? $50,000. So that goes back to my other point that again, if you spend $50,000 on a nigga, you're not going to abuse him and beat the shit out of him or nothing like that. And let me time out. And this is not this does not.
So why did they call them slaves and not human beings? Why did they not call them?
This does not take away the brutality of slavery or the
I'm just saying that it has an effect. You telling me that the brutality of slavery and the history of oppression in this country don't have effect on black people today? That's what you're telling me.
Look, but the slaves, I'm not gonna say they were treated well. But what I'm saying
no, they wasn't. They was treated well in Africa. If you was in Africa and you was a slave, you were allowed to maintain. You were allowed to keep your family. You were allowed to keep your family together. You were allowed to educate yourself. You were allowed to. You working because you were a slave. You just working off a debt. When your debt was worked off, you were free. Niggas over here worked till they died.
So I got a question. So if that's everything you said, slavery in Africa, blah, 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 why don't you place more blame on the blacks that sold us?
Because they were done at gunpoint majority of the time.
They were not.
What?
They were not.
Or they were selling rival tribes.
Still doesn't.
What you mean? And it was the smallest percentage. What, like you said, it was a small percentage. The majority of them were white folks. Why are you trying to? I'm gonna blame Africans where a motherfucker be like, hey, it's either you or them.
Okay.
Under gunpoint. And on top of that, they had no idea what slavery would look like in America.
That's true. I agree with you.
They didn't know that niggas was going to be getting their foot chopped off for trying to run away.
I agree.
They didn't know that your mother was going to get raped and sold to somewhere else. You were never going to see her again.
Right.
So you believe none of that has effect on black people today?
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
And again, today. But then also, let's look at the period 1865, right? What happened?
What happened?
The slaves got freed, right?
Yes.
So within there was a 50-year period called Reconstruction.
Yes.
During that time, guess what happened? Slaves that apparently were brutalized, couldn't read, couldn't write.
They got robbed of their land.
Time out.
They went and found land and built something and then got robbed.
Within these 10 years, they built HBCUs.
Yes.
They built many towns in the
Yes,
South. You have
absolutely.
You have the Gullah Geechee in South Carolina. You got Alabama, Mobile, Africatown.
I believe
You go
that.
to Georgia.
Yes,
You
you're
know,
absolutely
all
right.
these towns.
Yes.
We had black politicians literally come from slavery, and within 20 years, we dominated state legislators. We were in Congress. So therefore, I'm saying that to say that your whole
We did that under Jim Crow.
We did, and that's what makes it even. That's what makes it even.
So how many? So of all those thriving black communities that you spoke of,
white people came
how many massacres were there where the black people got drone out of what they built, and it was taken from them that are now white towns now?
The point I'm trying to make is that even despite under all of that cruelty, when the whites were coming in on horses, when the Democratic Party formed the Ku Klux Klan, and then you had the Dixiecrats down south.
Yes, I understand that.
We still got up and put our suits.
Yes, we did that.
We still got married. We still policed our own communities, and we didn't have kookies or criminals,
absolutely.
Our discourse, and we did good. We still were.
So you think that it's worse now than it was back then?
Hell yeah! Because despite being under all that subjugation, we were more married, we were more unified. We actually had a code, and we didn't have this criminal thing that we had going on. Integration was the worst thing.
So are you talking about us? You think it's us married or the black father being out of the house? Because I got stats on that too. That disprove that.
But again, black women sold us out in favor for welfare.
I say that a portion of black women sold us out. I agree with that. A portion of black women sold us out, but for the most part, the fathers were still involved. They just weren't in the household. They just weren't allowed in the household. Niggas had to hide. Hold on. Remember, I know this because if a woman is getting food stamps, her nigga is still helping.
Right.
He just can't be in the house.
Right. Let me
so the family was unified in spite of a regulation that came from the top. We're not at the top.
Okay. Let's go there, right? Because look, let me address my lies. I don't want to be white, but I do got to make my points a little. They got to punch a little bit harder. I think slavery was bad, and a lot of this shit he's saying is true, but I got to have some honest rebuttals. Because he's trying to complain what happened in 1865. No,
I'm talking about cause and effect. I'm saying this happened over a course amount of time, which leads to why things are the way they are today. You can't refute that.
Then Reconstruction shouldn't have happened by your logic.
What you mean? Reconstruction happened so they got jealous.
Look, again.
So we started really thriving. Nobody believed that black people could thrive outside of slavery. And when they did, they took it from us. And then they separated the black family. And then they signed the 96 crime bill, which put a millions.
Time out. All this shit you're saying, right?
What happened?
What party perpetrated that?
What?
What party perpetrated?
I'm talking about the system. I'm not political. You think I'm a Democrat?
You need to be.
Do you believe I'm a Democrat?
Yeah.
No. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm a black man first.
That's another issue that I don't like.
Oh, I voted Democrat because how do you separate you being a black man versus the blatant racism that comes from the Republican Party? Just like them stats that you go by, you live by these stats and they're false.
I like my racism up front and direct.
What?
I hate liberal racism.
What do you do to combat it then? If it's upfront and direct, that means you got to be upfront and direct about combating it.
Yes.
I don't see you do that. You talking down on black. You talk about black people. You ain't name one stat about white people. I feel like I'm not going to say white people. I'm going to say the system of racism or whatever we go against.
Yeah.
You don't talk about none of that.
Okay.
You expect us to be able to move up out of it when it's at the top.
I don't look at myself as a victim, so I'm not going to.
It's not a victim to say this is fucked up.
It is.
How? So it never happened.
So look,
we had to pretend that it never happens. What you saying?
No, not at all. You say it's fucked up. It happened. Now what do?
We educate ourselves so we don't go through. We gotta let people know that this is not to be trusted. You have to go about this a specific way. You have to create value for yourself.
Okay.
Learn about money, how money works. Create value for yourself and take care of your people because that's what everybody else does.
Who controls the financial system?
What?
Who controls the financial system at large?
Honestly, I don't know. You tell me.
White people.
Yeah.
So therefore, we as blacks need to learn how to work with them instead of having this adversarial mentality.
So you telling me that you can't work with white people and know the history of America?
But you don't have to make it a central theme of every fucking conversation you have.
It's not. This is a closed conversation. I don't talk about it at all. I don't even talk about. I talk about it when I see stuff, but on the regular, I don't talk about the system. I work.
Right.
I work and create value for myself.
Right. And I want to go back to the integration comment, right? Because remember you said the black father's out of the household, the single mother, out of wedlock rape.
I got current stats on that.
Yeah. So look, 1965 comes, right? Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act. Democrats were opposed to that. You do know that, right?
What?
Republicans had to push the Civil Rights Act through. If you can, whenever you have time, you can look this
No,
up.
that's fine. All right.
So
all right.
that happens, right? Lyndon B. Johnson verbatim said, once I sign this or something to it, I have these niggas voting Democrat for the next 20 years. You know about that quote?
Yeah.
All right, then. So
Donald Trump said that Republicans are uneducated.
Okay, but anyway, let's stick to the point.
All right.
So
sorry.
the civil rights movement comes around. Everybody get their civil rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
White man, knock on the Chinese man door. Yo, kick that motherfucker out the house. We'll give you welfare. We'll give you Section 8. China lady. No. Your husband stay here. Go to the Jewish lady apartment. Kick Shalom out, and he can get.
I honestly don't.
Hold
on. I honestly don't believe that those rules were as enforced as much as it was in the black
community.
community.
Go to the black neighborhoods. Keisha, get Tyrone out the house. We're gonna give you food stamps. We're gonna give you welfare and all this other shit. She said, "Nigga, get the fuck out, man."
Nah, but we already agreed that in order to get those things, the black man was outside of the house, but still helping. He just had to leave from the visits. From my history, from an eye test, women that was on child support, they man was still around or in close proximity, but legally he couldn't be in the house, so they had to make it work.
So why were black men so weak to say, "Nigga, I'm not going nowhere"?
To who? To the system or to the woman? To the system.
Both.
Honestly, we don't have the resources or the firepower.
Okay.
Anybody that talks about standing up to the system, what, physically or just talking?
Both.
You're gonna get locked up.
So
you're going to jail. So that's where self-preservation comes in.
So then how can we be unified if we're self-preserving each other?
Huh? To not go to jail. We can be unified and not have to deal with that.
Malcolm X went to jail. All of the civil rights, all of our
both them niggas are dead.
So
they went to jail and
so
what you mean? What are you saying though? I understand what you're saying. We should die. Yep. We should have to die for our rights.
Absolutely.
So does that not speak to how bad it is in this country?
Well,
it does not speak to how bad the system is for black people.
Power is given.
Does it not speak to that? Yes or no?
I don't think the blacks have it bad now.
You just said we got to die for our rights.
If you think we live in such a perilous state, you know, we're so fucked up. Racism is so bad. You think white people are such the bad guy?
I'm talking about cause and effect. Okay. I'm saying that this happened over a period of time, and this continues to happen today, and it leads credence to why black people are in the state that they're in.
Right.
And the vast majority of it is outside of their control.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. So can I do like an intermission?
Yeah.
Now, can I read some of the comments, and if you want to respond?
Go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Like I definitely engage the audience.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
All right. Let's see. Big Knuckles.
God damn, I don't even think I want to know it. I don't even think I want to know what he got to say.
It's stuff like that holding us back. He said they don't want our people in a position of power. I agree with that.
Yes, I agree with that. Big Knucks.
She said, Leah Sewell, she says, clearly there's black people who can kill, but was we eating people and
no,
stuff like that? Of course not.
No, it wasn't, man.
Rashida Lopman says they only control the financial markets because they stole it, they strong arm it, robbed us of our freedom. I somewhat agree with that. Like I said, remember we talked about earlier, I said, you know, white people institutionalized slavery, imperialism, and all that. So I agree with that.
It was a heartless institution. That's what I'm speaking to. And they still have other institutions that are in effect up until today that affect how we operate on the regular.
Joey Horse, he says, slavery was the breaking part. They instilled so much fear in people to the point that to this day, us as a race have found a way to break it. We talk heavy, but the simple factor of history did way more damage.
Unity is an issue. Yeah, unity is an issue. I'm just speaking to the current, you know, I'm not refuting the fact that black people have a long ways to go.
Right.
Unity is a really big issue.
Exactly.
But if there's one person or one group of people or a group, I have seen rooms of thousands of black people unified recently. I have been in rooms.
Do what?
Huh?
But do what?
Finances.
Okay. Yeah. Look.
Yeah. So the financial, I do financial education. I'm not going to be too big into that, but we have a subsector that is solely minorities, African Americans. It's called the African American sector of that, and they have conferences every year.
See, that's another issue that I've been harping on too.
Listening.
I am not African American. I am black.
That's fine. I understand. I just say African American because that's the label. I don't want to label myself as African American or black. Honestly.
Well, you're somebody. Look.
Yep. I'm here. I've been here. I've been around. If I had to say, I would say black. I would say I'm a black man.
Yeah, because I need that's something I need to be, because you said earlier, you know, with the whole crime statistics, they conflate Africans and which I agree with to an extent. because again, sometimes they do like from their cultures, they come here and they commit,
Yes.
disproportionate amount of certain crimes.
Because think about it, if anybody in Jamaica, they don't say I'm African Jamaican.
No, they say they're Jamaican.
Yeah, or they're Haitian. They don't say I'm African.
Right.
I usually would call myself American, but I'm a Black American. So
Okay.
however that swings.
All right, let me. And I had another thing.
Anybody else has something to say? Finesse on my side. Finesse just saying, Darius, stop moving the goalposts.
I'm not. Me and him go back and forth.
Yeah. I see him too, man. So yeah.
But it's ironic. I'm not gonna put his business out there, but he says one thing and then his life is not that.
All right, we ain't talking about that. Yeah,
I'm saying in a good way.
Okay, I got you.
Like he interact with white people and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's nothing. See, we're not. It's nothing wrong with interacting with white people. I have white people in my personal life. I have white friends.
Yeah.
I have white people that have business relationships with. And I appreciate them. I actually have been able to level up because of the white people in my life. Y'all know who you are. Not to talk like that.
Right.
But it's like when it comes to us and my people, it's certain things that gets put out there.
Yeah.
That it's not true. And
why do you think more Black people won't embrace conservatism? Join the conservative party
because it's the racism
and be proud to be
it's the racism. If we went over there, we would really have to die, bro. We would really have to die over there.
Even aside from racism, I still go to Republican luncheons. I still go in white dominated spaces, and I'm able to be myself. I don't tokenize myself around white people that try to get in. Like I go there, like I'm a Black nigga. I like Trump. No, I don't.
But you don't. But that you have taken on their viewpoint of your own people.
Like what?
Just the crime statistics.
Okay. Outside of the crime, what else do I say that's anti-Black?
That's it.
Okay.
Pookies. You genuinely believe that Pookies, that's something that they've been writing off since 1996. Did you know that when they signed that crime bill, Bill Clinton was soft on crime and he was losing the race. He had to kick up. He had to come up with that crime bill.
Yeah.
He literally had to, and that's an extension of what went on with the 13th Amendment. That's why I talk about cause and effect. If Bill Clinton didn't get that crime bill into effect, he would have lost the election.
Right. And this is look a timeout. He was a Democrat.
But it's false though.
He was a Democrat.
That crime, they in hindsight, they're now saying that the war on drugs was the war on Black people.
To an extent, yes, absolutely. Yes. But timeout again. Who do Black people blindly, overwhelmingly vote for in every election?
Democrat, overwhelmingly vote. Black people overwhelmingly vote Democrat.
Who institutes these policies such as the crime?
It's the white Republicans own the House.
No,
they own the House.
Who signed the crime bill? Who ushered it in?
Democrats.
All right.
So I don't understand how voting Republican is. They tearing it up now. Now they fucking up worse.
Because the Republicans don't sit there and lie to Black people. They don't sit there and treat them like politically stupid. You get what I'm saying?
They lie on Black people.
Again, so that's why I said more people like me need to go. More of us need to go to the
But you can't assimilate with them.
I don't want to assimilate, but if that's the dominant power structure, and let's just say it's 20 white Republicans here, and they have all the political power and levers, me and 10 of my niggas are going to come in here. We're going to sit down and say, we ain't going nowhere. We deserve to be here just as much as y'all. Y'all, they like a lot of white people like to take themselves and pride themselves in being American, patriotic, and nationalistic, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. Us as niggas, we are much more patriotic than you. We are much
I agree.
Much more nationalist than you.
I agree.
And we're going to go to another nuance. You want me to get on white people? You're going to get on white people, right?
We see America for what it is, and we still love America. I'm proud of the American.
We're the only race that has been here before America was America.
Indigenous.
Look, at the time that the White House was getting built, it was a bunch of niggas putting up them towers.
Yep.
Black men architected all the plans. So again, this is the issue that
that's why they can't deport us as well.
This is the issue that I have with some Black people. We cannot sit here and worry about a 150-year period of our time frame. Yes, slavery was bad. We did a bunch of other great shit. New York, Manhattan, Queens, we mapped out all that shit. You get what I'm saying?
So I said,
I'm saying that to say that when we go in these spaces with white people, we need to assert our American identity and be proud to be American.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue that I have with a lot of Black people, is that they have this anti-American sentiment.
Look at America's history.
I don't give a fuck.
Look at the history. You can't. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
It's like family history.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yes,
we have a love-hate relationship with our home country because, like you said, we are indigenous.
Yes.
So we was here, and almost everything good
Yes.
we had a hand in building.
Right. And then I need to be clear, because even with white people, when you break that shit down even further, you have white nationalists, which are called Anglo whites,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
These are the whites that have been here with us, fought in the Civil War with us.
Yeah.
Like I said, even back in the day, nigga might have had a white home, but he be like, yo,
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, all
like,
white.
no,
Yeah, no. I feel like white people they suffer from the same type of program that we have, and I don't believe that white people are inherently evil or inherently dangerous or nothing like that. I put that out there for y'all. I want y'all to unfollow the page or nothing like that.
I'm about to break it down to you.
Yeah.
Even back in the day, 1700s, 1800s in the north,
Mhm.
it might have been Cletus and Warren.
Yeah.
We can't let motherfuckers know we cool.
Yeah,
But we still gonna be cool behind the scenes, right?
Nah,
But
it was early on. It was like that until they separated the classes.
So anyway, after Reconstruction happens, right? America industrializes, and we have something called the Great Migration. So then you have all these other white adjacent groups. You have the Italians, you have the Greeks, you have the Irish. They come over here. Anglo whites say, yo, y'all not really white.
Yeah.
But if y'all want to get into the white club, you need to practice anti-black racism against black people. And that's where the modern conservative parties started to congeal.
They create a buffer class. Yeah, it's a buffer class.
Yeah, so that's why you get a lot of these racist whites, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them aren't the Anglo whites. They're the what I call Ellis Island whites.
Honorary.
People that came.
Honorary.
Yeah, exactly. Came here post 1880, but because they look white, they can blend in, and that's what we have today.
Yeah.
And I say that as a black man, when we go over there, we need to school them on that history and say, yo, we not going for that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I respect
And we need to resurrect our dead Republican black politicians to say that the party platform that y'all operate on today came from us, not y'all.
So you believe it would be like a hostile takeover of the Republican Party? That would be.
I'll say it's a power vacuum. Do you know what a power vacuum is?
Yeah.
Like a power vacuum, like Charlie Kirk. He was going to be him in the next 2035. He would have been president, bro.
Well, if that was the case, then I ain't gonna say
it.
It
was
but
him to be president.
yeah, he had a lot. His talking points.
He had a lot of pull within the party. So anyway, he gets assassinated. Now, because like I said, it's like white people be in our business about Black Wall Street.
Yeah, they be on it.
And look, anything that we
and
do,
our dance moves too, man. They be on that music
This is
shit.
what liberal white people do as well, because liberal white people want a savior complex. You ever notice that where a liberal white person's on top, they have a bunch of blackies underneath them. You never see them standing above or shoulder to shoulder, right? So anyway, I'm saying that to say that within the conservative party, there's a huge power vacuum because the party's fractured right now. And this is where blacks can come in and kind of get our piece of the pie.
Yes.
Because now and then you gotta look at it like this, right? Every other group votes bipartisan. There's Chinese Republicans, there's Chinese Democrats, right? Jewish Republicans, Jewish Democrats, right? And every 4 years, depending on whatever party supports the racist goals more, this is what we're gonna go with. It's business, bro. Like,
I mean, that's why I said I don't, I try not to. I play it ear by ear. Every election I try to see, and then I try to check on the local. I definitely vote big on the local level too.
Local matters a lot. Local matters a lot.
Make sure y'all vote on the local level. If you vote for president and you don't know anybody else on the card, shame on you.
So anyway,
go ahead.
There's something else. Again, regarding the blacks that this may be considered anti-black again, because I post a lot of blacks. A lot of blacks are politically they're politically ignorant, and a lot of them are what I call now we're politically homeless, right? And more blacks need to become politically aware to know what does the city commissioner do? What does the county commissioner do? When you run for the board of ed, what does that mean? And a lot of blacks need to become more politically involved.
I agree with that.
And this is why I push, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Push what I push so hard.
Yeah. Why do you think they focus so much on the presidential campaign as opposed to all those other positions that you speak on? I feel like we know more about the government in Washington, D.C. than we know about our local government. Just being taught in schools growing up. So you think
it's money? I think it's just money, man. I just think it's money. Obviously, the presidential election, that's the leader of the free world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
powerful position in the world. And at a federal level, like I said, if you look at the voting results of the 2024 election, black people are no longer needed by the Democratic Party, whether you like it or not. So therefore, we're politically homeless. The Democratic Party has now become the party of legal and illegal immigrants. So therefore, they will always be prioritized first over black people, which is what I have a huge issue with. And then when I say, hey, maybe we need to go embrace our American roots and be conservative. Huh?
I mean, it has been a great migration over there to the Republican side of the party. So there's been a lot of blacks that went over to the Republican side.
Right.
But it's like I don't feel like I feel like the conservative parts that, like you said, does line up. Black people are very conservative.
Right.
but they have a lot going on over there.
I'll say it like this: ideologically, we need to migrate there. Racially, I could care less. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, you know, this whole, like I said, blacks think that they're just going to build Wakanda without what resources?
I mean, there is a basis that you could say that big business has more control over the country than the government does.
Absolutely, to an extent, absolutely.
So that would lead back to what I was saying about
black therefore,
finances.
That leads me into my next point, right? A lot of black people aren't in the right fields, the STEM fields, right? Science, technology, engineering, and math. That's something I advocate. Mm-hmm. Stop putting your kids in athletics where, you know, you have tens of millions of children competing for what, like 500 NFL spots. Yeah. So now you do all that, right? Put all this fucking effort, energy, and time in, and they don't make it into the NFL. What's their backup plan? When we have a shortage of electricians, a shortage of plumbers, a shortage of medical doctors and stuff like that. But then again, all this starts at home. Now, again,
shout out Cole, Ben, real quick. Shout out Cole, Project Elevation. They do have a STEM program.
Right.
He calls it STEM, which I don't know the ad, but there's people out there that are leaning in this direction.
And this also goes into my other point where you elevate the criminal class who does not believe in that.
I don't believe we elevate our criminal class.
Or you give your criminal class too much of a platform to speak, and it overshadows all these other programs that we have, right? Because then you got convicted killers, you got convicted drug dealers out here trying to tell the black community how to function. And then when we get to the table, right? When we get to the big table over there, and there's Jewish people, and there's white people, and there's Chinese people, they don't send their quote unquote reform criminals. They send PhD doctors. They send financiers.
Where do you see us sending reform criminals to? Like, what? I don't understand. I understand that
you got Wallow, Dewey the Kid.
Yeah, but that's he's being platformed, and the platform is ran by not us. I'm gonna say not us. Right. I ain't even going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we don't have as much of a choice of representation unless that's somebody who stayed independent for a very long time. And
so how do you think we break that paradigm of where, you know, like you said, instead of like when we get to the big negotiating table with all the other races that we have are black financiers, like Robert S. Smith. We have him that represent us at large, or we have, let me think, man, even the dude, I think it's like Brother Nature, we made the plastic in the gas.
Oh, yeah.
We have him representing for us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus like a Wallow, versus like a Gilly, versus even a Jeezy.
I feel like that we should lean more into those type of people before we go to the table. We don't really know who those people are, who our leaders are like that. So but that's not, we can't blame it on us because the level of misinformation. I'll say even today, I'm not even going to talk about slavery. I'm just going to say misinformation, propaganda, social engineering. So we are portrayed to look. A lot of people are just getting to know black people, really who black people are through social media and through podcasts and stuff like this. They are kind of smart, or some people that couldn't even fathom that a black person is smarter than them. So we just have to continue to platform and grind up. Like we've been doing.
And the thing is, well, my issue is, especially with all these community leaders and nonprofits around here, is, you know, I'll see them trying to push a message, and I'm like, hey, that guy has killed somebody before. That guy has sold a lot of drugs to other black people and harmed other black people.
Goody's son said, does a reformed criminal not have a voice?
They do, but not over a person, not over a credential person that's never been to jail and never been a criminal. All I'm asking for is order. I don't have I'm gonna say it like this.
Buddy Love says he believes that Democrats and Republicans are ran by the same person.
To an extent.
Yeah.
But I'll say it like this. I don't have a problem with quote unquote cookies or whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't personally have a problem with them. I just think there needs to be a level set and reordering of the social hierarchy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But
I feel like your view is, I would say, one would be personal, as well as the propaganda that's perpetuated on this. Because a lot of niggas in power are not, though. If a nigga go to jail, come home, we celebrate them because we love them and we miss them and we're happy to see them. That don't mean that they're the number one in the community.
Again, you celebrate and you love them, but when's the last time you seen somebody college graduate like really being celebrated, right? Because if you go to other cultures,
I mean, we have teachers. Go on your Facebook timeline. There's teachers. There's people that are going to college. Like, it's just that we're not trained to celebrate that. Nobody does though. They white people. White people. They smart people nerds and shit too now.
You're right, but it's par for the course, right? Yeah. So now let's just, because I've talked to other cultures of people, right? My Asian friends.
They're not going to tell you. They're not going to put their dirty laundry on Front Street like we do.
Look, there you go. Look, I've been in white people houses, right? Or even an Asian person house where, and I know, I might know their boy. Oh, what happened to Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just away right now. They say that with shame. You will never see an Asian dude or a white dude yo, I'm on GTL, free the bros, free the guys.
I mean, but we also have a history of turning lemons to lemonade. We have no choice.
But you don't glorify it. That's
we have no choice. But as a black person who's in tune with the culture, we shouldn't be able to perceive that as us championing them.
It is.
It's not. We love them. You're supposed to love on your people,
you regardless. Love your people, but you need to hold them accountable. That's the issue, y'all. Like the blacks hate accountability.
What does accountability look like to you?
Accountability means looking in the mirror, saying, "Hey, I made a choice to commit a crime. I should not be celebrated."
So does that mean accept poor behavior?
Yes.
If the system that's set up, what?
Yes.
That means so. So let's talk about relationships and accountability. If you cheat on your girl, that means she can just shit on you for the rest of the relationship. You got to take it. That's your accountability.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sucks.
Absolutely.
That's horrible.
And you can't.
Yeah.
Look.
So I don't agree that accountability includes accepting horrible behavior towards you.
Okay.
Accountability is change behavior from yourself.
Exactly. And I agree with you. So therefore, from a whole criminal.
So for you to have a blanket statement on all black people not being accountable, and there's people. All. I mean, then you gotta words mean things. But I will say that's why you be in the position that you're in sometimes, because you're not specifying. You're just like black people.
As they say, if it don't apply, let it fly, right?
Yeah, but okay, that doesn't work no more. It don't work no more because now it becomes dangerous. If you make people look like they're a danger, then their environment becomes dangerous for them.
Okay.
So that's why we can't let it fly.
All right. So what do you propose then? Because I said it like this. She said, I hate when y'all say the black. Yes, I'm always going to say the blacks because there's because I can't say you niggas. That's what I be wanting.
You can. This is an independent platform.
Right. But anyway, when I say the blacks, like it's so we got to specify exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't like to be politically cute and say, oh, African American or stuff like that, because there's a certain sector of the black population which espouses all this stuff that I don't like. So those are the blacks. If you don't espouse any of that other stuff, then you're not the blacks. Like that's how.
Do you use the term the whites as often as you use the term the blacks?
Every now and then.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
No, I just call them whites. They're all whites to me.
Okay.
But again, I'm black. I'm not white, so I'm not going to sit there and worry about.
So do you believe in positive reinforcement?
What do you mean? Yeah, I do.
You believe in positive reinforcement?
Absolutely.
So do you believe that there's a way that you can help and educate black people without coming from a level where they feel like they're being talked down on?
As of that, because again, I'm gonna take on your points, because we've been so traumatized, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because we've been so through all this other stuff, right? Just like if you had a victim of sexual assault or a person that's been physically assaulted their whole lives, when you try to go to them with that quote unquote healing spirit, they may not receive it in that way, and they may be hostile towards you. It's no different than like when you go to the shelter and the dog was abused and you try to pet it and it tries to bite you. So sometimes you got to, boy, and then he'll listen to you. You get what I'm saying? Where we're at right now, politically, culturally, economically, our arm is cut off. You cannot, you gotta, it's emergency intervention. You get what I'm saying?
You know, we're doing better economically, actually.
Well,
black men in particular.
Why are immigrants?
Black men in particular.
Immigrants making just as much or more than us.
Oh, they're set up. That goes back to the system. They have it easier. Do you believe? Hold on. Answer this question. This is a yes or no question. Yeah. Do you believe that a legal immigrant can come over here not knowing English and just open up a store, get a house for herself without help, without assistance?
Yes, but that's my big issue. That's another one of my issues.
They do that without assistance. So they learn. Hold on. So they learn how the register works in the English. They learn how you feel me. They do all that.
No. They can't, and that's my issue.
Yes,
because they've been propagating this lie. Oh, I came over here with $7.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I understand it happens. Some of them, yeah. Go ahead.
Cheerios in my pocket, and 6 years later, I'm a millionaire. And I'm like, how does that make sense when us niggas have been here this whole time? I only know maybe one millionaire, if that.
So would you put that? So it wouldn't make sense to even put that on black people then.
What I'm saying is the point I'm trying to make is that illegal immigration or immigration in general negatively affects black people the most. And we need to stop acting like we're this big melting pot and that, no. There needs to be thick lines drawn. And I'm like, think about it, yo. You go in our neighborhoods, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of our neighborhoods, like you said, we're the target of poverty, we're the target of crime, we're the target of violence. But somehow, some way, Indians, Chinese people, Bangladeshi, Pakistanis are able to come there and become multi-millionaires off of our dollars. I can go right over in East Violent right now and send you several 5,000 square foot houses that are owned by the people that own Valeros, the people that own the nail salons and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm saying that to say, overall, that's another reason why black people need to embrace conservatism, because it promotes America first. And you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think my shit froze on, man. It's gonna lie, the tablet's still on, but
Oh wow.
let me see if it's still going live.
All right.
Niggas was kicking up. Nah, you right. Yeah, you smart, man. I ain't gonna say I thought you was stupid, but I knew that you was, I knew you was educated. It says it's still live, but let me check real quick.
Yeah, go. Yeah, I'll let you do all that. Oh, see, we was spitting so much heat, man.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, your audio is on, but it's just my camera that's not.
Well,
you got anything else that you want to touch on real quick? We done went for almost an hour now, bro.
Right? I mean, yeah. Is everything working?
Yeah, we keep going.
All right, you said you want to do like we can. You said you was talking politics and stuff.
Politics,
like that.
Yeah.
So I want to finish my point about immigration.
Go ahead.
That illegal immigration affects Black people negatively, and then I'm gonna give you a bone, right? You said all the crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when all these illegal immigrants come over here, right, and the Democratic Party and businesses hire them at cheaper rates, who do you think that affects the most?
I'll go with you and say yeah, it affects Black people.
So because of that, right? Can't get a job at AccuStat. You got all these illegal immigrants here, right?
Yeah.
Try to go do DoorDash. They've got that sold up, right? So you can't do that. So then what is their next logical thing to do?
I mean, entrepreneurship is right there.
And a lot of
work is right there. That's where the education comes at.
But then they do crime, right?
Yeah.
They do crime,
but
right?
you're not. But that's with any race, though.
Time out.
That's what any race. Any race states no resources or money, then that's where crime comes from.
So therefore, I'm saying that's part of the issue of Democratic.
But you Republicans frame it like Black people are inherently criminal. That's where the problem comes in at.
I agree. But then
that's where the issue comes at.
That's why we gotta get over
yes, we're not criminals by nature. We're criminals by circumstance.
But then these circumstances are perpetuated by a certain party, in my
but
opinion.
not all Black people. And then this, I just showed you, statistics show that it's less than 5%.
Right.
It's a very small percentage of Black people that have attributes that are spread across the board.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Do you think that all illegal immigrants should be deported?
I don't think so. I'm like I said, I'm not too big on the whole immigrant thing. Right. I do feel like I don't even. Yeah, I don't. Can you feel me? Because I it's get in where you fit in, stuff like that. I do feel like at some points it can hamper what we have going on, but I'm just more of like I'm more on the fence. I'm a neutral party when it comes to that.
Like this, every illegal immigrant that crosses the border, your tax dollars, all these taxes you pay, go to supporting them over people that look like us. I'm saying you know that.
But that's by design. That's not even their fault. It was set up that way.
Right. So
was it not set up that way?
As a Black person, even if it's by design, we need to do something about it.
Yeah.
Which is why, like I said, I'm trying to get more Blacks on the conservative side, so that way we can tackle these issues and increase our upward mobility, right?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, I feel like the blatant racism is a deterrence. I understand that you like your racism up front,
that's fine.
But
time out. Let me say this. You say as if only white people are racist.
No.
Indians are racist towards us. I don't know. I'm not gonna be
honest. Yeah, a lot of them vote Republican though.
Yeah, I try my best.
A lot of people that are racist towards Blacks vote Republican.
Chinese people are racist to us. Black people are. Everybody's racist to us.
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question, right? You say all this racist stuff as if Black people can't be racist, right?
When I say racist, I mean the system of racism. We have no control over that. So technically, when we're looking at it through that scope, Black people can't be racist. We can be prejudiced.
Right.
We can be prejudiced. We can not like people because they're not Black, whatever. But we don't look at ourselves as superior. Almost a lot of stuff that we do and deal with is a reflex.
All right. So let me say it like this too. Now, if let's say we live in another world, right? Tomorrow, white people are gone, or white people or Black people are in power. Do you think that Blacks will practice that same racism, or do you think we will be benevolent to white people, or if they were quote unquote, if we were the dominant force? Would you?
We wouldn't be like that.
How do you know?
Because we weren't like that before we got over here. We're not like that. Black people aren't like that. Black people are more accepting than any other race.
So you think
also, when we say Black people are conservative, Black people are more liberal. They're more balanced when it comes to stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't believe that we don't even want revenge. We want equality.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I do not. That's a fear.
Right.
That's called fear mongering.
Okay.
And that leads back to me saying that when you make a person appear to be dangerous, it makes their environment dangerous for them.
Right.
So that's like white people, of course. Let me not say white people. People in power would not want Black people in power because of the fear of retribution, which is not what we want. We just want a fair shot.
Right. Okay. All right.
So.
And you said you want to talk about like some red pill stuff. I don't know what that means.
I see Ebony. Shout out to Ebony. My homie Eb has said something on your post just about like towards women and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Let's address
I don't.
Let's address
Yeah,
that.
I
I want to know because she says my rhetoric is anti black women. No, I
Yeah.
hold black women accountable. That's all.
Yeah, but it's holding accountable is so broad that it can be misconstrued.
And I also like I look at myself as a man's man. Where there's a hierarchy that men lead, women follow. And
so what would be your most controversial take when it comes to women?
I have a lot of them. Like
don't say nothing that I agree with, cuz I'm fucking with you, man. I'm fucking with you.
But I think, like I said, there's a definite hierarchy. I think black women need to treat black men better overall. Stop cursing at us, stop yelling at us. I believe men lead, women follow.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a very my traditional dating style is like I don't believe in just having quote unquote one woman, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
I don't believe in none of that bull crap.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying? So whole lot of stuff, man. Your derogatory language towards women. Again, only give back what's given to me.
It might not. She might not necessarily mean your ideals, but just how you talk to women.
I don't like.
Do you say bitch a lot?
Yeah, if I need to.
You call women hoes on the regular?
Yeah.
That might be it, man.
Call them how they act.
I mean, okay.
We live in a generation where women dress like prostitutes.
Yes. Yeah, we do. Women do have a lot of freedom. They have a lot of freedom. But I think that comes with women making more money as well.
Yeah.
Even though I will say y'all don't make more money than us. That's a lie. That is a lie. Exactly. Black men still make more money than black women. But women have more autonomy, which is they have more freedom to pick and choose. And
they can do all that.
I think we have to adjust with the game. Not me personally.
We don't have to do that at the sake of black men getting their balls chopped off.
Yeah, but I think that also goes back to the women that you're attracted to as well.
I'm attracted to a variety of women.
I mean,
but like with American black women, it's a lot. I run into a lot of friction because I don't sit there and kiss their ass to get along with them. They come up, oh, this black girl magic, most highly educated. I'm supposed to bow. No, I'm a man. You going to sit there and bow down to me. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how many degrees.
So you believe that you believe that the type of man they would bow down to is Pookies.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is like that.
Do you think the issue will be the type of woman that you're going after?
I guess so.
Or you believe that it's all women?
No, it's not. All
okay.
Women, sure, but it's definitely with black American women that I have the most. That I have a lot of issues with. And I need to be clear, it's not all black women.
Yeah, but I say you don't want to put them in a.
I date plenty of black women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But a major subsect of them have this type of issue where she can be a woman that works in a hospital.
Yeah.
Is a registered nurse, a doctor, has gone through all these background checks. You don't spend $60,000 on school, and then you find out she's dating a guy with a 3rd grade education that sells nicks at the back of his mom's house, and pistol with 3 or 4 motherfuckers, and it's like, yo, what is wrong with you? You got all this good stock in the hospital, you got all these good brothers, but somehow, Tyrone, he can get you hot. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think that refers to you putting them type of women on a pedestal.
Not at all. I mean,
if you think just because a woman got a nursing degree that she's not going or something like that, then that sounds more like a you issue.
It is, but I've learned that, so I just adapt. I don't take these women seriously.
I mean, but there is a woman out there that you should take serious. There's gonna come a time where you don't, and that might be the thing.
Look, the way I live my life right now, bro. Like it's like when you've done the work and you put yourself in a position to be successful.
Yeah.
I don't need a woman. You get what I'm saying? I don't need to use.
Do you want a woman?
Yeah. I love women.
I will say this. Well, a lot of people niggas talk about women and getting women, stuff like that. When you talk about getting the women, are you talking about love, marriage, and children, or are you just talking about sex?
No, just dating.
Dating is building towards something. We talking about just sex, no strings attached. You talking about love, marriage, dating, love, marriage. Yeah.
Bro. A quote I came up.
That's a part of it too. A lot of niggas that really talk about how women be choosing, it's just that the women that they're that's their speed,
right?
Want relationships, and then some men kind of just want to have fun too.
Right? So. Let me explain. I always say I want a girlfriend, but I don't want a relationship. Meaning I have a girl that we do all the do. We go out to eat. We date. We talk. And
what's the difference then? What would be the difference?
But then I also exercise my options with other women when I need to.
Oh, so you don't want to be faithful.
Whatever you want to call it.
That's it. You know what? You want relationship perks, but you don't want the accountability that comes with it.
Because to me,
cheating. No, accountability comes with it if you're choosing a woman that would prefer to have.
But then a lot of those women that are quote unquote good women, what I've learned in life is that they already do that. Like a lot of these good women, fucking your baby dad, and you got the dude. You got the dude.
God damn. What?
You got the dude over here that you're messing with, right? You got another
Yeah.
dude that you're messing with. So I fit in. I fit in when I first meet a woman. I might fit in on Wednesday, every other Wednesday night. That's my slot.
So you don't want commitment?
I mean, put it like if it comes, it comes. If not,
Do you? I mean, in that given situation, does she have to commit to you?
she should. But but lately, I've never been the type to be overly protective of a woman.
Yeah,
and try to
understandable.
police her because she's going to do what she wants.
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
anyway.
You let them do what
And
they.
I
Yeah.
move accordingly, meaning like, look, if you want to mess with me,
Yeah.
cool. We having a vibe, and you don't mess with nobody else, then I'll be the boyfriend. But the second I see you out here, you know, fucking John Paul Harry, I'm gonna treat you like a little slut,
Yes.
and your ass will be look 10:30 p.m. every other Saturday.
Yeah.
And send your ass packing. Look, like I said, I live my life very differently, bro. Like I don't believe in dates. I don't go out on dates with girls. Like until after
I do believe some stuff should be held until you're in somewhat of a commitment phase.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand, but it's nothing wrong with having fun.
Yeah.
Teaching the girl to having a good time. I just ask what you want because that might be indicative of why your views are the way they are.
Yeah,
So
like I said,
you're not necessarily looking for a commitment. So
I say it like this, bro. I like my dating style is very different. So I've had women I've dealt with for years. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Years. Like we're not in a relationship per se.
Got you.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, that's how it is nowadays. A lot of people, that's why when people say dating, anybody that's single and is looking for a committed relationship, when people talk about they dating, that's a red flag. You can't foster monogamy by dating multiple people or dating them all. So
right.
You got to be mindful of those type of talks because that is the wave nowadays. I've noticed that with a lot of people, they just they let it come and go as they please, which I feel like is a trauma response. You don't think that's trauma related?
It could be, but I like it. I'm having fun. Look, bro.
Are you really though?
Yes, I'm responding to what the women have put out. Like you said earlier, the women, they can get degrees, they get better jobs, and they can exercise their authority or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So when I try to lock these women down, she say, "I'm not listening to you. I make $8,000 a year. Cool. So let's just fuck every week, go out and eat, post some Instagram pictures, and we'll do that."
So when it comes to genuine connection, that's out of it.
I do genuine. That's the thing. You conflate. You think just because I'm single, I don't have genuine, meaningful connections with the women I deal with. And I'm just talking
about like a monogamous, relationship.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean by that. Having a person for you.
I'll be monogamous. I'll put it like this. Like,
so what? All right, go ahead.
The ideal relationship setup for a man. Look at me. You gotta have your main public girlfriend. Your main public girlfriend or wifey. This is the one that everybody know about. And then your next girl is going to be your side chick, a faithful side chick that you have sex with, maybe once or twice a month. So that way you keep the sexual variety. And if your main girl is nagging you, she's trying to hold the pussy up. Cool, I just go fuck my side girl, and it keeps her in line because she's like, yo, this dude can leave anytime you want. And then you have maybe like 2 or 3 women that you just hit like every couple months. You know what I mean? Like little jump offs, and that's it.
So the main one is not a necessity then, is what you said.
She is, because the thing is, women have to make themselves, like where I'm at in my life, you have to prove your value to me. Aside from your pussy, you got to be able to, like you said, speaking on financial literacy stuff, right? You got to know how to balance a checkbook. We got to talk about credit at the dinner table, right? A lot of people what I do with women before I vet them to get upgraded, what's your credit score? Let me check your credit report. How many fellas doing that?
God damn.
Yeah, and I see that you.
I mean, I understand. Yeah, I'm not checking my credit report.
You're in debt with Victoria's Secret. You got a Benz that you're paying $100 a month for. You know what I mean? You got your credit.
So what do they get in return for that? What is your role that you play?
Oh, my roles. I'll be quote unquote the provider.
Are you there yet?
Huh?
Are you there yet?
Yeah.
You there yet?
And I'm a good teacher, so I can teach you how to get your credit right. If you need something in your life, like I'm that type of dude. You get what I'm saying? And I'm a good vibe to be around. Like as much as I'm misogynistic on Facebook, I'm actually with women. I'm actually good to be around. Women like being around me.
Women like being around you. So you don't really have issues with women.
No. Not like I said like this, like relationship wise, like I said, when I really wanted a relationship, this is where all this came from, So
it's like the usual red pill trauma.
Look, you know how I go back. Back in the day when I was in college catching the bus, I'll see the girl sitting right next to me in nursing school. She she lived in East Boston, 5,000 square foot house. Dad's an anesthesiologist. Mom is a professor. Hey, me and you should get along great. I'm going to be a nurse. You're going to be a nurse. Let's latch together and make something happen. No, I'm walking outside to the bus stop. I see Tyrone pulling up like this.
You walking to the bus stop.
Yeah.
So you wasn't that man that you needed to be for her.
But
at
that's when
that
she was.
time, though.
But she's fucking 21 and 22.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Nigga had a car. You was going to the bus stop.
And yeah, she's supposed to be like, look,
we gotta keep that too. Yeah, go.
I
understand. You want the loyalty.
Whatever. We're supposed to build from there, right?
Yeah.
But I see Tyrone pull up. Get your ass in this car, yo. Excuse me. Oh, and then with me, I'm just not feeling it. Whatever excuse it was. I'm like, all right, that.
I mean,
and I ran into that, and that's a big issue in our community.
Yeah, I feel like that's an issue in. If you go to any community, the men that are more financially well off have the majority of women. So I don't think that would be specifically.
But no, I'm saying
black.
You go to white communities. Rebecca will get down with Trevor when he's in engineering school, and she might have messed with the whole football team, but she's not gonna let him know that. And you know what I mean? That's
a Trevor problem.
To save face, she's going to get with Trevor from engineering. She's not going to get with Willie the meth head and Laura Lake. And
black women aren't doing that either. I can understand you stating that. Well, black women may go after.
I'm not saying all black, not all.
Yeah, we're not saying all. We're not saying all, but they do have a proclivity to date people who are more well off, and sometimes that comes with violent crime, violent stuff like that. But like I said, I think that's more of a people thing. I feel like we're unfairly labeling black people with a lot of things.
So let's go back to that, right? And these type of women date them, and then they have children by them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if the father is from this lifestyle, isn't that type of lifestyle being passed down?
But that's a small percentage of black people.
Okay.
I don't think that's a big enough percentage that we have to make it the face of being black. Because if you look at fatherhood, like you said, if you look at fatherhood, 66% of black fathers live with their baby mother when their first child is born. That's 66%. And then over 70%, I think 72% of black fathers are in constant contact with their children. I agree with that. So it's like.
So then, what about the out of wedlock birth rate? Then, like, what explains that?
That's just
a single mother home.
That's just having a baby and not being married. That don't mean that he wasn't living there or he's not actively supporting. That means that they weren't married on paper.
Okay, so then explain this statistic as well, where a majority of black women have, and this is statistically true, where a majority of black women have more than one child with more than one partner. Compared to other races, it's like
not the majority. That's not the majority of black women.
I know the majority, but statistically,
black women are more inclined to have multiple baby fathers.
Right,
but that's a small percentage of black women. That's a very small percentage of black women.
Oh, let's
and black men, 46% of black men have children. That's like a 50-50 shot, bro.
Let me,
you know what I'm saying? That's yeah. So there is a percentage of black, but look at the percentage of black men that have multiple children.
There's a small percentage of them that have.
That's what I mean.
But then they're overly.
But when you look at black women, it's like 1 or 2. Do you find a black woman that got 4 or 5 baby dads? Is rare, even though we know it. Eye test is not going to feel rare. You know what I'm saying? So more black women have multiple baby fathers than men.
Yeah.
But black men will have multiple children. It's the black men that have
right. But then there's a gap. There's a gap because it's like you said, there's a lot of our women that do have children with multiple partners, and then there's a big cohort of our men that don't have any children.
That's because they can't. I mean, some shit got to get chalked up to a nigga not being able to get bitches. I ain't even going. You feel me? Because like if you think about it, if
but we got to change that.
It's a 50-50 shot. 46% of black men are married or have children.
So that means the majority of black men don't have children.
Yeah, that means that.
But then we still have the single mother rate is high. So like you said.
But that single mother rate doesn't include mixed races. So that could play a role as well. True. So if a black woman has a Hispanic baby father,
right,
and he leaves, that goes on our pop.
Right.
And that's what I mean by propaganda and social engineering. A lot of the stats are used against us. And if you look at it properly, go ahead.
Would you agree then, with that being said, even the single out of wedlock single mother rate, that contributes to some of our problems in our community?
It used to. I'll say it used to when the plan worked.
Okay.
But right now, I see complete families everywhere. I see complete black families everywhere.
Okay.
I ain't even gonna lie. And if it's not the father there, it's a stepfather that stepped up. Statistically, black fathers are doing better than almost any other race of fathers.
Right. Okay, so then why? And that's another issue, the whole stepfather thing. The other cultures really don't practice that like that.
I mean, they didn't have a mass exodus of men from the community. That crime bill took couple 100,000 niggas off the street. So
and there's something called the First Step Act. Have you heard of that?
nah. Well, I mean,
Donald Trump signed that and allowed hundreds of thousands of black men to come home for nonviolent offenses, things like that. You know, and it literally undid damage from directly from the crime. So you know that.
I understand.
And Trump has also donated to made contributions to HBCUs. More recently,
he gets that back on taxes.
Huh?
He get it back on taxes. He get that shit right back in February.
I'm just saying.
But also, he's also called for the deaths of the 4 guys that were wrongly convicted of what's the name?
At the time,
he said they should die. Honestly,
at the time, in my opinion, he did that from a civilian standpoint. He ain't know all the.
But that says him that says a lot about his integrity or him as a person.
Him messing up one time does not make him a bad person. And I'm gonna say this too.
That Project 25 was looking iffy, man.
Before Trump ran for president in 2016, black people loved him. Everybody had a song with Trump. Donald Trump this.
But he aligned himself with the quote unquote racist party.
Okay.
So that, you feel me?
I mean, look.
He did. And then he was running again. He only ran because he was mad at Obama. Anyway.
Yeah, and let's talk about. You want to talk about Obama?
Nah,
okay.
I don't.
Because I don't think Obama wasn't our first black president.
Who was? Lincoln?
We haven't had one.
Oh, no. He's not. I'm going to concede. Yeah, here we go.
We've never had one. We've never had a black president yet, and they fooled us with that. And
but that's why black, African American, black American. So technically, he was our first black president.
This is why we need to delineate, and like I said, make a presence in the conservative party. And this is one of my goals. You get what I'm saying? Is to start a black nationalist conservative movement that attaches to the white power structure in the conservative party, and we demand our just due. We ain't coming over there. You can call us the N-word. You can say we this and that, and I'm gonna say we ain't going nowhere. You want to make us leave. You get what I'm saying? It's like
you can do it without turning the average black person away. You might have something on your hands.
I'm trying.
And that's that's what we're here for. The rhetoric. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
Nah, man. I think we got a fair.
Yeah. I
enjoy it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming up. Like, if y'all don't know, I know my camera's frozen. Y'all can hear me. I've been trying to get bro to come to the station even before we got it off the ground because, I follow his content. He's very interactive. People fuck with him. Some of his views are whatever his views are. But now, Darius Smith, we appreciate you coming out. Shout out to Voicebox Media Group. Team. I got to use the tablet to exercise this shit. Man. It's crazy. I had a show last night. And I had to reset my
Oh, man. I was about to say, we was getting too hot, man. Shit.
Shout out Nino, Big Nino.